And joining us right now is former Commerce Secretary Carlos Gutierrez. He's the co-founder and executive chairman of Empath. And Carlos, we've been speaking with you quite a while about tensions between the United States and China. Coming back from this meeting, what's your take? That may be their message that they're open for business. How was it received?
Well, it's interesting that the United States was absent. You know, where there are very few, I think there was one CEO, a couple of CEOs at Boao. There were several, maybe they said 17 at the China Development Forum. A lot of European companies, a lot of Asian companies. But the U.S. is sort of taking itself out of the game, which is hard to understand. A lot of people interpret that to the fact that CEOs don't want to get criticized if they go to China, which I think is hard to understand because there's so much U.S. investment in China. So we're leaving a lot of money on the table, Becky, whether it be U.S. companies not being present, not being part of the debate. A senior dialogue isn't taking place between U.S. officials and Chinese officials. We're not part of CTPP. We're just nowhere. And it's very alarming. I wish I had an answer for that, but there doesn't seem to be a reason for it or a rational strategy for what we're doing.
Carlos, I have an answer for it. It's Washington, D.C. Both sides, this is the only issue that Democrats and Republicans tend to agree on right now, and that's that if you are doing business in China, you're going to get called on the carpet and brought before Congress. You may get lambasted by the White House. I understand why they'd want to keep a low profile right now.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a lot of press around the fact, a lot of media around the fact that Tim Cook was at the China Development Forum. And I give him a lot of credit. You know, he has investment in China and he has an interest in China. His company does. So he should be there. I think he owes it to the shareholders. But this idea of you don't go to China because you'll get criticized or you're called into Congress. We're becoming almost by default. I'm not sure it's deliberate, but we're becoming an industrial policy country. It's no longer about the private sector, but it's about what the federal government decides the private sector should do. And I think that's just not our strategy. We are all about the private sector. We're about private investment. We're about private sector innovation. China is about industrial policy. Those are the two models. But right now we're kind of straddling and we're not really sure where we are. But as we've talked before in the past, Becky, we need a China strategy, which we do not have. You recall when China had the 2025 vision, there was a lot of concern on China's part that it was being misrepresented, overinterpreted by the U.S., so they just got rid of it, and no more mention of China 2025. Today, there's none of that. China's become very assertive. This is who we are. This is what we're going to do, and you get used to it, or go someplace else.
Carlos, who are you speaking to? Business leaders saying they need to step up and figure out what's going on, or Washington? That I don't blame any business leader for not wanting to get caught in the fray here. If there's a message to be heard, my guess is it should be directed towards Washington. Like, hello,
yeah, I would
tell us where we go with things.
I would agree. Washington needs to have a strategy. It needs to understand how it's going to deal with China. I continue to insist that this is about coexistence. We're not going to get rid of China. They're not going to get rid of the U.S. So why don't we sit down and really just challenge how are we going to coexist? We have two separate models. And we're not going to have one model. We're not going to convert China into America. I think we've seen that over the past 30 years.
Right.
So how are we going to coexist? But you know what? The U.S. businesses in China, their key concern is that Washington continue to do all the sanctions and the criticisms and the allegations, and that they get caught in the middle. China has yet to retaliate, by the way. And they're just wondering, when is China going to retaliate?